Yo, Savannah, GA 1-2. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? How everybody doing today, man? Everybody had a good day. Had a good worked at your 9 to 5 jobs, getting the money. You know what I'm saying? Working. You know. Now you're relaxing, home. Hope the kids in the room. Hope the dog outside. You feel me? You know, hey, you know, like I said, man, it's StressLyfe. AKA Rise Up Ray, you know what I'm saying? And you got your boy
Malik the Barber 912. What's happening, everybody?
You feel me? And we know we still clicked up. We still linked up with Clicked up. You feel me? My boy Jive. Yeah. You feel me? My guy Kales, TPS Kales, he couldn't make it, man. You know, he's still grinding, he's still working. So, you know, shout out to bro. Shout out to bro. I wanna apologize. First of all, before I even apologize, I gotta say the name of the show. StressLyfe! Cause that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We make sure that we tell the truth, nothing but the truth. You feel me?
All day long.
All day long, you know. And even though the truth is uncomfortable, it's still, you know, set you free, right?
That is right, bro.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. But yeah, first thing I wanna say, I apologize for last week Monday. Couldn't make it due to personal reasons, you know what I'm saying, and life been lifing, you know, but however, you know, I'm here, you know what I'm saying, I resurrected, you feel me, so it's all good. I definitely want to say too, before we even get into the topic, Rise Up Ray is finally arrived, you know what I'm saying, it's on all music platforms.
Yes, sir.
I want to give a special shout out for the engineers, Eddie Cypher, Trap Made It, and Ash. For the artist that's featured on the project, Eddie Cypher, Trap Made It, Jigga J the Gang Spitter, Bria Lee, TPS Kales, and Big Woe. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all of y'all. And I also got a mic performance with for the song Life's a yeah, you know what I'm saying? If it ain't one thing, it's another. You know what I'm saying? It's on my Instagram and it's on my YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So y'all please
check it out now.
Yeah, please check it out. Please check it out, man. I put in a lot of work in this shit, man. Like I don't do this for a hobby. You know what I'm saying? This is not a hobby. This is a career. You know what I'm saying? And I'm taking it serious. So this is what it's all about. Now, to the topic. If y'all remember the week before last, I left a question at the end of the episode, and I want to leave it with y'all, and I was gonna, you know, get back on the next episode to do a part 2. You know what I'm saying? And the question is, can a black man? I ain't even gonna say a black man. I'm gonna just say, do you think any color, and with these colors, you know what I'm saying, with these different races, if they despise the color for whatever reason, do you think that these two could be able to be in the room and come together and have a respectful conversation? And even though that they still doesn't like each other race for whatever reason, do you think that they could, you know what I'm saying, still come together and respect each other, even though they don't, you know, they still have their personal beliefs and reasons?
Me personally, yeah, I do. The reason I say that, because I'm sure it's plenty of jobs I've been on, and the individuals of another color did not like me, but they had to respect me for the knowledge that I harbored and for who I was as a person.
Yeah.
Versus it being just because of my skin color. You know, first of all, they're gonna judge me because I got dreads, black man, rather young.
Yeah.
Off top, knucklehead to them.
Yeah.
But when I open my mouth and start speaking on business, they have no choice but to respect what I hold.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got to respect me.
So
it's demanded with what I carry.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. What about you, Ja?
Oh man, right at it.
Yeah.
I think history has proven that. I think history has proven that's already happened. With in the history with why can't I think of his name? There was a black leader, turn of the century, the last one, who definitely did that. They definitely had an understanding. Black Star Line. Come on, man. He was born on my birthday. Come on, man. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Take your time. Take your time. Yeah.
I could see his face in my mind, clear as day. Black Star Line. Marcus Garvey. Good God.
Hey, Marcus.
Goodness gracious. Marcus Garvey, my birthday twin, civil rights leader. I mean, just human rights leader, man. Black
Strong
activist. He had meetings with the Klan.
Mm-hmm.
Because they definitely shared the same segregationist concept.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And he actually got support for the Back to Africa movement.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm.
So they understood, they had a shared understanding of segregation and of wanting to be apart from each other.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it can happen. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So historically, yes, it's happened. The respect part, I don't know. I mean, you could just, put down your grievances for a shared goal.
Mm.
I don't think you have to like somebody to want the same outcome.
True.
So do you feel that you have to like someone in order to respect them?
No, I don't think you gotta like somebody to respect them. I think I can respect your position on a thing, and I can, you know what I'm saying, and I can still hate you as a person. Being in the Army taught me how to do that. Like, you're a captain, you're a sergeant, you're whatever. I have to respect that position, but you, nah, I don't fuck with you like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I've learned how to do that.
Yeah. My dad, God bless his soul, he worked his profession was at the time was landscaping. He used to do a lot of landscaping work.
Right.
And he been around a lot of racist environment. And it's crazy because my pops will know that you racist, but for some reason, he still never treated them with any disrespect, and he still would speak to him. He would kind of like overlook it, as if it's not plain as day to see that, you know what I'm saying, that this person doesn't like you, and it got to a point where I guess with his boss or his co-worker or whoever, when they would notice that he had the same energy every day and came to work, you know what I'm saying, whether he was sick or not, you feel me? Because everybody knew my daddy was real, you know what I'm saying, he had a real bad illness. He would come to work, do his job, never complain, you know what I'm saying, and do it every day. When they noticed that, they kind of like had a liking to my pops. And I watched how they like bond with each other. And the conversations that I can remember that they used to have, when my dad used to tell me, is how they would say things or talk about things that sounded so like racist.
Right.
But in their mind, they don't see that it's racist to what they say. You know what I'm saying? And due to the fact that my pops never, I guess, would take it personal, he would put his opinion, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
of course, because he gonna stand for, you know what I'm saying, his belief. Right. But they was able to still have these conversations where, whether they agree with each other or agree to disagree, it was still respectful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been in a couple conversations like that. But I feel like it's more so it's business, not personal. You know what I mean? That's why he kept that persona or that energy towards them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm here to take care of my family.
Yeah.
I'm here for this job. I'm not here to feel like this, that, the third about whatever y'all talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm still gonna stand firm in my position as who I am and what I believe, but I'm not gonna get out of character and ruin what I got going on for my family.
Right.
My family is more important than the words that you're speaking.
Facts. That's real.
I keep grabbing
Uh-oh.
Look,
Oh, this mic is dead. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I got more.
Okay.
We had a dope show in here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to have you in here, man. We got like, we
For
do
sure.
a studio desk concert. We do a live performance in here.
I see one with Italy. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I made sure I reacted to that. That was fire.
So yeah.
Yeah. And you already know I'm on it.
Yeah, you can be next.
For sure. Say less.
Yeah,
Say less.
Stress it.
Okay, I'm back. Stress that. You know what I'm saying?
Stress it.
Yeah. So I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead, please keep going.
Okay. But nah, though, man. So yeah, man. Just seeing how, just watching how Pops used to do that shit.
Oh, there it is. You just
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so shout out to your father. Shout out to all the 40s and the 50s and the 60s fathers. You feel me? In the 70s, you know what I'm saying? Like the ones who really took like the overt racism. You know what I'm saying? Who took, you know what I mean? Because as dope as I believe your father is, and maybe there was some sort of understanding, he was in that room because he could do his job far better than a white man in his position.
Yeah.
You got to understand that.
Yeah.
That's what he had to survive.
Yeah.
Because if they could have got him out of there, they would have.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you spoke very, briefly about your father's, health condition. And that stuff takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? Racism takes a toll on your body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So weathering that storm every day, coming home, trying to decompress and not push that on your people, and because that energy goes somewhere.
Yeah.
And it gets stored up and then you gotta like find a place to put it. You know what I'm saying? I just think that it's crazy how we so casually talk about something that's killing us.
Right.
We casually talk about the effects of racism, and in every metric of life, how we are viewed and how we are treated along those lines has a mortality constituent that goes with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The way you're treated at a hospital is going to affect your health. The way you're treated in education is going to affect your mind, which affects your health.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The way you're treated, you know what I'm saying, in sports is going to affect, how they're going to litigate your CTE, because they thought for a very long time we had lower brain functions anyway.
Right.
So we don't get as much, repair to us because you're working,
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So there's so much that's going on. I just want to speak, for your father. You know what I'm saying? Like your father, like weathered, and rest his soul, right?
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? So, like he weathered a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like them old school cats weathered a lot.
Yeah.
That's where you get all these phrases like "Don't let the smooth taste fool you."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh man, you took that real cool." Yeah, don't let the smooth taste fool you.
Yeah.
I'll with these motherfuckers up. You know what I'm
for real.
saying? Like,
For real.
because he knew code switching was gonna feed you. Because what he wanted to do was crash out.
Right.
What we call it today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They used to call it going postal. That's what they used to call it. Like in the 80s and shit. You know what I'm
I
saying?
never
Like,
heard that. Okay.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, yo, I really want to go up in here and murder every last one of these
Yeah.
for the way they talk about me, and they know I hear it.
Right.
But I gotta, you know what I'm saying? But I see you ahead of them,
Yeah.
and they gotta swallow that and not put them in a grave. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
I agree. I agree.
Hey, listen, when he used to work at that time, I think I was like 13, 14.
Right.
And I used to Pops used to come home. Don't get me wrong, there was times Pops used to come home, man, and he used to be mad.
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? He used to sometimes be locked up in the bathroom, locked up in his room, and just releasing certain emotions out due to certain experiences that he had to endure. And I used to tell him, like, man, Pops, man, like, let that cracker know, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I used to go off on him about that job. And, he used to tell me here, like, that's what they want me to do.
Is that?
And then if I do that, I lose my job. Then what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he used
Right.
Right. And he used to tell me that all the time. And I never really took it in consideration at that time until I became a dad. And once I became a dad, I kind of understand where they was coming from with that. Now, granted, the difference is Like the way I handle my situation is this. You know, you could be you. If that's what you do. That's who you are. That's how you feel. Hey, listen, my own kind don't like me. So
Right.
it's like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? However, I'm like with you, the respect thing. When we doing business, let's do it respectfully. You feel me? If we could do it respectfully, we fine. You know what I'm saying? Because I done had certain situations where I done been called a boy. You know what I'm saying? Or when me and you used to work at, you know what I'm saying? Like, I done had these kind of situations, and I had the, you know what I'm saying? Like, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. You feel me? Like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm gonna respect you in your position as my manager or whoever you are, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need you to respect me as your employee. You know what I'm saying?
On that same job you're speaking about, right?
Yeah.
You know, as a manager, it was hard for me to go out there and talk to them people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And know that they had an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Oh, go out here and push them, make them do this, that. But we're working in conditions that's not capable of doing this type of situation that you're asking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're asking me to make this happen with these type of bottom lines, but you're not giving me proper people, staffing, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
This calls for 10 people, you give me 6. But you want the same work done out of these 6 people. So now you want to go out here and crack this whip on these brothers out here.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. You can't make me do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll get what we can.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that puts me in a position with them, though. Mm-hmm. Oh, you, that thing, that. Me thinking up here, I'm going to get what I can get. What you're talking about is null and void to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm expendable anyway, so I might as well stand up for something,
Right.
fall for anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when he's talking all this sideways stuff, you know what I mean? And I had some brothers out there that was on the floor, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That kind of gave pushback to when I come out there and tell them what's going on. They looking at me like, oh, you just, hold on, bro, hold on. No, I'm not. I'm fighting for you because I'm just like you. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let anything and everything just pass me and just trickle it down on you. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if I didn't stand up, who would?
Right.
Who are they going to listen to? Me or them?
Right.
You know what I mean? On the floor. So I was like that bridge between. I'm going to fight for my people.
Yeah.
Always. Any time I've been in management, I always stood for my people versus the opposer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But sometimes too, you know, just off of my experiences with a lot of jobs, and I'm pretty sure that you can relate to it too, and Jive, you know, sometimes managers be hiring people just to hire people. And, you know, sometimes we got some lazy niggas, you know what I'm saying? Just to keep it 100. Some of these niggas be lazy, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, one thing I know about a white man, you know, they like workers, man. They like workers. Now, sometimes they do be, like how you say, you feel me? They be trying to like, come on, man, you know that's impossible. Right. Why is you trying to force that? You know what I'm saying? Right. So they do be doing a little, they reach, you know what I'm saying, a little too much sometimes. However, though, you know, but if they see that you work, you know what I'm saying, you dedicated to, you know, to your job, and you know what I'm saying, you doing what you supposed to do until, you know, clock in and clock out. You know, you got certain ones that will respect that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, just to get deeper into the topic, the situation happened with the young black male who stabbed the white boy, with 2 of them, I think, at the school. And one of them, they were twin brothers, and one of them died. And they, you know, they now trying to prosecute the young black male for murder. You know, it been going on social media like crazy.
All right.
And, you know, I had voiced my opinion on it. And, you know, I had a lot of white folks mad with me, you know what I'm saying, about how I felt about the situation. So first thing first, just to give a backstory, just in case if nobody is not familiar with the situation, even though it's still fresh. I think he plays sports. The young black male plays sports. I forgot his name, so please forgive me. I forgot his name, but he plays sports. I think the two white brothers was bullying him, and now if y'all digged any information about this young black male, he have this thing about bullies. There's situations that occur in that school where he fought bullies that bully other people, and he always interrupted and defended the person that's being bullied. And in this situation, he was being bullied. And it went too far. The man told him, "Leave me alone. Don't touch me." He ain't listen. And then, stab. And then, like I said, one of them died. My whole issue about that, because there was a lot of, when I was looking through the comments, a lot of white people was so mad that people was defending the black male for self-defense, right? And I was reading through their comments, and now I understand how they felt like you come into school with a knife. That's one of the biggest points that they were trying to bring. You came to school with a weapon. No, lock him up. He shouldn't have come to school with a weapon. Okay, I hear you on that. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. But besides coming into the school with a weapon, if you look at the situation at hand, to what he did and why he did it, it wasn't like he was just coming to school and just stabbing people up for no reason. Right. You feel me? He was trying to cease the situation by telling them, "Leave me alone."
Right.
He didn't want to listen, and then they got physical, and then boom, you got stabbed. And it's just like, I want, oh man, he calling me. I want people to understand, man, like, with that situation at hand, because it just been a lot of hate going on between the whites and the blacks, especially when it come down to that topic with them. And I just feel like overall, man, like, to me, it's not about a race thing, because if the shoe was on the other foot, if it was a white man that, a white young boy was just minding his business and a black person was bothering him for no reason and he got stabbed, you would have got the same reaction out of me like how it is now. You feel me? You should never bother them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, listen. So, who knows how long that situation had been going on before he actually brought the knife to school?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm quite sure he didn't wake up in the morning like, "Oh, I'm gonna take my knife to school."
Right.
Right. You know
Right. I see your point.
So
I see your point.
If it's been going ongoing thing, you know what I mean? And I'm sure somebody's seen it going on in authority. You know what I mean? A teacher, a janitor, whatever it may be. Somebody else knew about the situation, about these kids bullying people. Now that he stabbed one and killed one, you know what I mean, or unalived one, now it's a problem. When the whole time this shit could have been avoided if somebody stepped in and did something about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's always, he went too far, she went too far. But what was done when things was happening to this person?
And see, you said some real shit right there, because remember we talked about this on one of the episodes. I think it was Kales that mentioned this. I think Bria Lee. Shout out to Bria Lee. I think she was there for that episode. And Kales was talking about the school system.
Yeah.
And stuff. And that was one of my issues about the school system. How when granted, these teachers are not counselors. So I get that point. And they not police officers. I get that. However, if a child is being bullied or being disrespected by anyone, and this child is coming to you, a student is coming to you and telling you about this situation, and you don't take it serious, you take it as, stop being a tattleteller, or I got you, but don't do nothing about it. What do you expect for this person to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I've been through it. You know what I'm saying? I know how it is. I know how it feels to be bullied. That's one of the reasons why now I got an anger issue, because I dealt with it for so long coming up, and then, not to, throw dirt on my parents, but when I used to get bullied a lot, when I came home, when I was in school, I'd get beat up, talked about, whatever, right? I come home, this would be the first question that my mom and my daddy asked me, did you want to fight? And if I said no, and they were like, well, did you at least hit back? And if I said no, I got my ass whooped in school. I mean, I got my ass whooped in the crib. And it got to a point where, you know, I found myself watching WWE. You know what I'm saying? John Cena was my favorite wrestler. And I had this big ass teddy bear. And I used to watch him fight the wrestlers, and I used to imitate that shit.
Right.
Man, when I finally, and then I ended up listening to rap music, so Eminem was my first artist. As soon as I got back to school,
sick and demented.
Man, what? Yes, and as soon as I had, you know, I won my first fight, it went on from there. Now I'm fighting everybody.
Yeah.
Because it's like, now I want to show y'all not about to, and then as soon as I start doing that, now, your son is going out of control and all this other shit.
Yeah,
when
you're the bad one.
You feel me? Like the whole entire time.
What happened to the times that I was
feel me?
done this way?
And that's why I think about what you just said. It made me feel like that probably one of the reasons why that happened. Because just like you said, why the hell would he bring a knife to school? Apparently he didn't bring it for no reason. Something had to happen where they overlooked the situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shoot, my bad, y'all. But yeah.
You know, how old was the boy again?
Oh man, he was high school kid. Yeah.
High school kid. Okay. So he knows the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he also knows when he's in danger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At that age, he can sense his danger.
Yeah.
He felt danger from these people.
Yeah.
Not just because they were white, but because they were bullying him.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the race spectrum, right? If I was in high school and you come up to me every day and threatening me and bullying me, eventually I'm gonna stand up and protect myself some type of way, right?
Some type of way. And it's just it's ridiculous because it made me think about the situation happened some years ago where I forgot the guy's name, but the white dude who had went inside the church and murdered them black folks.
Yeah.
And then when he got done, they take this motherfucker out to McDonald's or something, gave him something to eat and all. And I ain't seen none of these white people making an outraged statement about what he did to our people. But the minute our people did something to y'all, it just become this race thing. Right. Oh, he's an animal. He's a murderer. I can't believe y'all supporting this black guy. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is serious?
You know, I have plenty of white friends, you know what I mean, that I've grown up with throughout years and years and years.
Yeah.
I still have friends from when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of a different race. And I'm just as tight with them today as I was then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the thing was, none of us ever disrespected each other.
Mm-hmm.
It was always a respect. We had different views.
Mm-hmm.
We had different upbringings. Mm-hmm. But the one thing we had in common was respect for each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Regardless of your complexion, I have homegirls or homeboys that don't date outside their race. That's your choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if someone in their family does, they welcome that person in just as welcome as if they were the same color.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has to be a thing of respect between human race, not the race of people.
Man, scratch it. Say that one more time. Human race. Human race.
So all of us came from the same seed.
Yeah.
Adam and Eve, right?
Yeah.
So where's the divide?
Jive, you look like you want to say something, man, because you been holding that mic.
I just, letting y'all cook. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm old school and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I be hearing, I like what I'm hearing. I call myself old school. You my age and shit, and I always think I'm the oldest nigga ever. So
I'm slick the baby in the family. If you think about it.
It is. But just looking at the information about the kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, one, I can say this, regardless of what happened, man, somebody's child died. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Condolences to their family.
And that's where my first feelings are. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have daughters, and I can only imagine race doesn't implicate itself when you know your child is no longer on this earth, and what kind of panic that could put in your heart and in your chest. So first and foremost, to the family that lost their son, right? To the brother who had to watch his twin brother die. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, like, I feel that. Like, it's crazy.
Condolences.
Whatever this kid was feeling, you know, I've been a kid, you know what I'm saying? And while you're trying to make sense of this world, you know, I realize now, then when I thought I had a handle on things, I didn't know anything.
Right.
I trusted myself, which you should, but, you know, you're still fresh. And you can make
Detrimental.
very, very life-altering decisions not having counsel. He made up in his mind that's what he was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Regardless if there was some history behind with this other person or not, the information doesn't say they do or do. But if they did, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you know, I hear the argument. You want the same sort of innocent till proven guilty that we gave Dylan Roof.
Right.
I want that for my kid too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want the same Burger King meal for my son.
Yeah. Nah, right. For real.
You know, as silly as it sounds, there's a level of humanity that is conferred upon them even in their worst moments.
Yeah.
Right.
That doesn't even get shined on us in our brightest.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that. Like, you know, so many years ago, when this is in Cleveland, as a matter of fact, when the guy who saved the girls that had been kidnapped for like 10 years, and she yelled out the door, and he busted in and got him out of there. This dude had been holding him captive for like 10 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The first thing they did was show this dude's prison record.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? Like, how, you know, yeah, 10, 20 years ago, he did some wild stuff or whatever. I don't even remember what he did. But they felt that we cannot let you just see a hero with dark skin. We have to do something to take that away.
That shit crazy.
You feel what I'm saying?
They got the
so even in our highest moments, you know what I'm saying, you're haunted by what blackness means.
Yeah.
And even in their lowest moments, they are elevated by what their whiteness means.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And again, I get what the argument is. I want you to support this kid and his fear, just like you supported I forget the kid that ran around with a rifle during a riot, you know, and shot people, and y'all rallied around him,
right?
And y'all made sure, he, you know what I'm saying? Even though his mother gave an underage child a rifle and sent him out, you know what I'm saying? That's aiding and abetting.
Come on.
I don't know. There's a lot of laws.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of us having to deal with the letter of the law while they get the spirit of the law. There's a lot of implications that go on here that you can like start to dig in. And I hate to do that and turn this tragedy into a political statement. But when you're black, everything is a political statement.
Yeah.
You don't get humanity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to deal politically because my humanity is always on the table.
Yeah.
Like you said, he's an animal now. So we've already taken his humanity off of him.
Right.
So now we got to argue the politics of why that comes off the table first.
Why do we have to argue to get our humanity back in situations?
Yeah.
And see, in this, you know, I'm gonna keep the shit 100. You know, I don't. I'm gonna be, you know, I'm me. I'm gonna be real. You feel me? I'm gonna keep it 100.
Anybody want to go check out the IC Ports page and see if we're getting any comments, because I can't see it from here. Yeah, just wanted to see if y'all can see it.
So, but yeah, though, like, you know, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like, you know, that situation. It was a situation that occurred where I think it happened like two or 3 years ago. Once again, a white guy. He was a young white dude. He went into school and killed them kids. It was like babies. I think it was the one of the teachers. I don't know where he came from. I don't know what made him go out to the school, but he did it. And I remember the parents was trying to get inside the building because they could hear the shooting, and their kids are still there. And the officers wouldn't allow them to get in. However, the officers wouldn't get in. They went in later after the aftermath, and it was so many kids and teachers that passed, and I think he committed suicide in the midst of the situation. And when I see shit like that, man, it bothers me to why, you know, to a point where I feel the way I feel for this situation. You know, it's hard for me to show empathy or sympathy for shit like this. Like, yes, that's your child. Matter of fact, I read this thing where his mom is real upset about the situation, but the father, despite the fact that the father was upset about the situation, he said he understand what his son did, and he's aware of his son's actions.
Right.
And he said he feels sorry for the young man that unalived his son. He feels sorry for him because he understands why he did what he did, even though he don't condone it because it's his child, but he understands it. Mm-hmm. And I felt like that you had to have some real thick skin to make a statement like that. And that's what I kind of feel for that. So it's like, for me, you know, I ain't trying to sound, and this ain't have nothing to do with race. This just, I'm looking at the actions of it. I can't show sympathy. I can't say rest in peace. I can't, knowing how my heart feel, it's hard for me to do that because, and this is not having a slave mentality. This is me being like heart to heart, man to man, man to woman, whoever you are. Like, you just can't sit here and create these type of actions and surprised when the shit happened to you. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit here and create fire, and then when the fire spread, now you shocked. You don't know what to do. And then before you know it burns you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I see in this situation. I felt like, you know, you keep poking the bear, eventually the bear gonna attack, nigga. Just to keep it 100. Yeah. It's gonna attack. And that's what I see with that situation now. It's unfortunate that it happened. It's unfortunate that it happened. And I don't glorify destruction by any means. I do not glorify it. But I glorify I glorify protection. I glorify you standing 10 toes down by protecting yourself or protecting your family. That's what I glorify. And in this situation, he did what he had to do. And, you know, I feel like parents, even though our kids gonna have their own mindset, they're gonna do what they want to do. Just like my mom and my pops. I would do things that I ain't had no business doing. And you know what I'm saying? They used to get on my ass about it. You feel me? But they will always let me know, whether you my child or not, I love you, but I'm not gonna allow you to think you doing wrong is okay because of the fact that you're my child. Right. And I feel like that's where a lot of parents go wrong at. You know what I'm saying? Where they feel like, well, that's my baby, so you can't say nothing to my child. Yeah. Or you can't do nothing to my child just because my child said this or did. Like, you can't do that. Because if you do that, I feel like, and then you don't give your child no consequences for their action, they gonna grow up eventually thinking this shit is normal. Yeah. It's okay to do that.
Do whatever.
And they gonna meet they match one day, and it gonna be just like this situation.
I can agree with that too, to a certain degree. Because like, okay, like I have a son. My son is now 7 years old. And I'm making sure that he understands that every action that he has a reaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you go out here and you pick a fight with these kids out here, and one's bigger than you, and he beats your ass, that's a consequence of that's a repercussion of your consequences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You getting what you got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you out here fucking with people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you out here and you're kind to people and you make friends, that's another repercussion of what you did. You know what I mean? It's just a good one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everything that you have in life and you do something, whatever it may be, there's a return on it. You know what I mean? So if you go ahead and sow good seeds, you get good seeds back. But if you're out here causing terror, you're going to get terror back. You know what I mean? Look at all the individuals out here that was gangsters out here slinging pistols, slinging iron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're 1 or 2 places right now.
Yeah. Yep. No, they really in 3 different places. They either locked up, or they in the cemetery, or they done lost their mind. You feel me? Because you know what I'm saying. And when you lose your mind, that's a man.
whole sentence within
You
itself.
feel me? Like
So
yeah.
So, bro, there's always going to be a consequence behind your actions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate, like you said, it's unfortunate that one had to lose their life behind the situation, but parents got to learn how to teach their kids. You can't go out doing all kind of extra shit to people.
Right. And I'm not saying that the mother didn't do it. I don't know what she did, but just, I just know certain.
Abroad, not speaking solely to her, but
yeah, just overall. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was taught, listen, be careful what you do.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
That old saying, fuck around and find out.
Mm-hmm. It's real.
It's real.
It's real.
You know what I mean?
It's real. And that's why I try to teach mine young, even though he's only 3 years old before this year. There be certain things that he'll do, like we'll be at the park, and I remember, which is so ironic, it was a white kid that was at the park, and he failed, and my son stopped and noticed it, and my son laughed. And I immediately, grabbed him, and I had to talk to him. Not only I talked to him, but I asked the parent of that child, can we approach your child? And she was like, it's okay. And I made my son apologize to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we not about to do that. I don't tolerate that shit. You feel me? Like, what you laughing for because he failed?
And he hurt himself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because if it happened to you, you ain't gonna like it. You know what I'm saying?
Damn sure ain't gonna let nobody laughing at you.
Right. So it's just like, and that's, I don't know, man. That's just how I look at it. You feel me?
That's one thing I've been teaching my son too, right? Because he had a habit of that shit too.
Yeah.
Like he sees some type of calamity going with a person, he tends to laugh at it.
Yeah.
Boy, that's not funny.
At all.
They could have hurt themselves. They could be down bad for real. Yeah. He's sitting here laughing. Now, as soon as somebody would laugh at you for the slightest thing,
we ain't gonna like that shit.
You gonna get mad, throw a tantrum.
Right.
No, boy. Straighten up.
Right.
Because you're not gonna do this type of stuff, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And my son's mother, she feels like I'm hard on my son. Yes, I'm hard.
Yeah.
The world ain't nothing friendly, bro.
At all.
You got situations like we talking about right now going on.
That's going on, yeah.
So if I don't prepare him now,
yeah, how
would he react then?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If he can't handle the pressure from these cats picking on him, talking about him, whatever it may be, and properly defending himself on all ends of this, what would he do? He might be in a situation where he kills someone.
Nah, for real, man. I
don't want that for my son.
What's the and it happened either yesterday or today, and I'm so bad with names. It was I think he was, I forgot how old he was, but he was autistic, and he got killed by these crooked cops. They shot him 20-something times. He was on life support, but they today or either yesterday pulled the plug. And it's just when I see other situations that's involving with white violence towards us, or crooked cop violence towards us or towards they people, they don't say nothing. But soon as a black person create a crime, whether it's self-defense or not, it's like, oh, they some wild monkeys or whatever racist shit that they'll say. And I just be seeing that, and it's really, it's disturbing to me, because it's just like, Lord knows I'm far from racist. I don't hate nobody color. I don't care what color you is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna treat you the same respect like I treat anyone else. But it's just like, at this point of time, man, like, how the hell can we got so, it's crazy if people realize how much we got in common, how much we got in common with each other. Even though there's a difference because of our upbringing, there's still some common feelings towards certain situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done seen people, man, I was in this place that I had to stay in for a while, and man, yo, it was this. I was staying what it is. Port Wentworth. I was in Port Wentworth, and it was this white guy that, you know what I'm saying, he got cool with me randomly. He only got cool with me for one thing.
Protection.
No, hold on. No. I'm gonna tell you, it's some real funny shit. He got cool with me for one thing. He got cool with me because of the fact that I played basketball and he liked basketball. He saw me playing by myself and he wanted to play with me. And we played, and from that moment, we became friends. Not knowing, one day I ended up walking with him to his spot and I see the whole flag. And I see like all types of weird stuff, you feel me, in this man's yard. And you know what I'm saying? But despite what I saw, he never treated me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Like,
he never disrespected you
at all. You know what I'm saying? Whenever he got around, and not only he didn't disrespect me, but if we got around any like environments where there was other black people, he would not even bother them or disrespect them in front of me, because if you disrespected them with some racist shit, you disrespected me too.
Same
you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just feel like, man, some of these people, man.
Shadira Fowler's in the comment, man. I love this lady, man. She be rocking.
Yeah, she be on it. Shout out to Shadira, man. I love her.
What's up, mom?
Yeah.
She made a comment of why a dude's do the racial thing. It's because they still view us as the bottom of the totem pole. One comment. Second comment, generations of hate and racism and prejudice against the so-called black community, I like so-called, won't just leave because we want to all supposedly come together. She's lighting it up. Hold on. I'm a believer that if we don't have the same mindset as in doctrine we abide by, then I can't be all in this together with folks regardless of how they look. So she's saying we gotta have a common like you were saying, a common bond. We gotta have a common thread amongst us. To speak into what you're saying, like, the thing that is crazy about that is, as people, we put anomalies in pockets because it's hard to do the physical labor, the mental labor to undo the prejudice, right? So you see that happen in three different ways. You see it happen in race, you see it happen in class, and you see it happen in sex. You see where they'll make an exception so they could keep the rule.
Right.
So I'll be controversial a little bit. In the black community, the black women have made us believe that most, if not all, black men are horrible. And then they'll say something like, "Oh, there's always a few good ones."
Right.
That's a holdover label
Exactly.
of blackness. You know, there's always a few good ones, but it's supposed to make you work harder for their favor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You see that in race. You see that in class. When you talk about the employer class versus the employee class.
Yeah.
They're all lazy. There's always a couple good workers, but the rest are lazy. That's supposed to make you work overtime, do more. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's always this push to make you disassociate yourself
with those
from the rule, and sort of, that's what black excellence is about, right? It's supposed to make you want to be a cut above the rest. But when you look at whiteness, they've gilded, and they're starting to disassemble it now, but they gilded their mediocrity that was called the middle class. That's literally what mediocre is, the middle. They subsidized it. They socialized it. They did everything they could to keep a middle class. They were saying the average person should deserve something. You know what I'm saying? But our average, you know what I'm saying, is always deemed as, even if we produce at their same rate, we're not the same. And so you have to apologize with your labor for your blackness. You have to apologize in the black home for your maleness with your labor. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between a human being and a human doer. Black men have been stifled in human doing, and we're just watching human beings. So when I heard you not being able to, really identify and have sympathy for other people, is because we're stuck in the doing. And how do you have sympathy for the being? I've never been able to be. How do I feel bad for you?
Yeah.
Where do I put that feeling when I'm constantly have to work twice as hard to get half as much with my own woman, with my own contact with my children, with my own labor, with my, you know what I'm saying? Everything in my life, I have to earn every single step of it. And I watch you get because you be.
Yeah. Because you only exist.
Because you exist. That kind of resentment, you know what I'm saying? You wonder why people, black men, like I said in the thing, you know why black men always mean mugging our picks? Because there's no joke out here.
Yeah. Right. It's dead serious.
it's nothing funny.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good to watch that. And then know, not in some theoretical way that could be you, but in like the next nigga in line.
Yeah.
Whatever just happened to that kid who got shot, that could be me tomorrow.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, not theoretical. If I went across the world and joined the army, like if I just so happened to cross the street and somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
it could just be that way.
Yeah.
Right.
That's real shit, man. That's real shit, man.
I'm sorry, I just be.
No, man. Hey, you be saying things, man. Hey, I be like, God damn, John. Damn. Like, that shit, that'd be crazy.
That's absolute truth, though, bro.
Yeah.
Meant more. Oh, she said, which is a lie? Which one is a lie? I don't know what Shadira said. Which is a lie? I don't know which part is which is a lie. Meant more good black men than bad ones. Thank you. And twice as good to get half of what they got.
Hey, Shadira, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna invite you to the show.
Yeah. You might have to come through.
Cause I like her. I know you probably don't know her, man, but she an artist.
Okay.
She's definitely dope.
You,
she released. I forgot the name of the song. Eddie Cypher had did her music video or mic performance, I believe. She just released it. So I need to go ahead and check out Shadira music, man. She really dope. But now though. Everything good? Okay, all right, bet. But yeah, though, man, like, yeah, man, you really said a handful, man. It's just, I just wish that, you know what sometimes I think happens? Sometimes we need to I wish that there was a way where we could take, like babies that don't understand, right? All they could do is just love, but they don't understand what's going on around them, right? Watch them. Man, listen, I've seen I remember one time I was in the hospital and I was sitting in the waiting room and there was a white couple and they had a daughter. She had to look like she was about like 4, right. At least 4. And she seen me, and for some reason, I made her day. I don't know why. She kept wanting to play with me while she was sitting on her mama lap. We were playing like peekaboo and shit. And then before I know it, she got off of her mama lap and walked up to me wanting to sit on my lap. And I had to look at the mama like, is it okay? I don't want to just touch the child. And she was like, yeah, it's okay. And I'm up playing with the child, and the daddy came in. When the daddy came in, he ain't like that shit, and he made his child come back to him, and not only made his child come back to him, they sat in a different area from me. He like, you don't.
There'll be none of this.
Yeah, he wasn't rocking with that. He wasn't rocking with that.
That was a threat from that man Dingo.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, way too comfortable with you, letting you hold a child.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's just when I think of moments like that, or just any situations involving with kids, to how no matter their parents' point of view, for them to some of them still stand on what they believe, which is love all.
Bro, really and truly, we were not bred for racism and hate and all this type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're first born, you don't know anything about
You don't know nothing, right?
It's only what we've been taught by our forefathers on down.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is a situation where your grandmother's grandmother taught her, and she taught the next one in line, the next one in line, until it got to you.
Mm-hmm.
So the racism and the ignorance and bigotry that we see is from back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is the heart of all these people from then, the soul of these men from then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Still living on today in
Right.
people of today.
Well, so the problem is that even though you removed the history, what happened then is done. But the people who have the levers of power are still
Pushing it.
doing the things that were done because that's what they were taught. Now, here's a funny thing. I read an article and it was about out of all things, monkeys. But what they did was it was a study. So what they did was they had 4 monkeys in a cage, of course, and of course, and they had like at the top of a ladder or some apparatus or whatever, they had bananas up there, right? And what they did was every time one of the monkeys tried to go get the bananas, they would spray all the other monkeys, right? And, they get agitated to the point where if any of the monkeys went up there, the other monkeys would jump on him and beat him up to get him from not doing that so they don't get sprayed, right? So after a while, they took one of the monkeys out and put another monkey in. Monkey doesn't know anything about it. Sees the bananas, tries to go up the thing, immediately beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? At this point, they're not even spraying the water anymore.
Ooh, I get what you about to say. Okay. Yeah.
They, to the point where now that monkey knows, don't go up there. He never got sprayed with any water. Yeah. He doesn't know anything about it. Yeah. To the point where they slowly started replacing each monkey with a new monkey. But each monkey had experienced the beating from trying to get up that thing. The initial thing with the water stopped. So now you got these monkeys just repeating behavior that they were taught, have no understanding of the initial trauma that is attached to it. Right. But they're just reenacting it because that's what we do here. Yeah. So imagine
it's learned behavior
in police departments, in prison systems, in school systems, where you don't understand why you keep doing this to young black boys. Because there was a precedence that was set before you that's in place, and it's set before you, and that's just the standard operating procedure now. And you don't understand why we're doing this to these little boys, but that's how you move along to get along. So a lot of us, in ways, are those animals who are just reenacting what we've been taught, and we don't understand why. But we just keep doing it, but that doesn't make us not responsible for what we just did. If you tried to climb to the top to get something and I beat you, it doesn't matter what happened 200 years ago. I'm the one that put my hands on you. You know what I'm saying? Why I did it, we could talk historically, but in the moment,
I'm wrong.
You made a decision to go with what you understood. And we all have an opportunity to question what we've been given. But in some ways, we don't, because there's a benefit, and that's the tricky part. Because there's a benefit to keeping the black man away from the black child. You weren't there when they was doing that. You weren't there when they was disassembling the black community. But you're getting what they gave them, and they're taught you. You know what? If you keep the black man out your house, they're gonna give you rent. They're gonna give you food. They're gonna give you this, and you're like. If you a child, you just trust your mother's judgment. So you just go, okay, cool. That's what we're doing. Hey, if he has too much custody, you ain't gonna get as much money. Okay, cool. I definitely want money. Yeah. But you don't understand the whole what was done to disassemble that. You feel what I'm saying? But you acted. You did. And that's what truth and reconciliation is about in a social context, is like coming to the table and going, I admit what I did. I admit what I was cool with this part. I was cool with, demonizing black women and doing all this because it got me this. I was cool with that. So we got to be okay with being honest and being like, yo, there was a part of this shit that I was cool with because it gave me immediate gratification, hand to mouth shit. Destroy the community. We ain't got one. but I got my stamps.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot to be said about how we get here. And, you know, you can forgive yourself for not being racist. You can forgive yourself for not, I don't know, you could have a million white friends. You know what I'm saying? They can have a million black friends. And they can put all of y'all in this bubble where, like you said, even though I recognize, oh my God, yo, Stress, you like a real one. But if you talk to my daughter, I got something for you.
Yeah.
And mean it.
Yeah.
Yo, come to my house, eat dinner.
Yeah.
I'll come pick you up if you're drunk and can't drive home.
Yeah.
But you better, you see what I'm saying? That's the complex.
There's still a line.
That's the complex nature of the mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know people who I know are racist, who are my battle buddies, and I trust with my life. Because I was put in that situation. I know it's real.
Right.
But I know where they came from. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's how complex the situation is.
Yeah.
Black women, black men, race, class, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? All of it's mixed together. And then when you hear somebody, you know, mad that this young black boy is getting some sort of deference and respect conferred onto him, then you feel like, as a white person, something's been taken from you.
Right.
The safety of whiteness has been taken from you.
That privilege has dissipated.
It's like, oh, I don't, you know what I mean? Like the same thing that, you know, the same kind of reaction that would have got, you know, Emmett Till.
Yeah.
Right.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they kind of still expect. And they don't know why they expect it, but they expect it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? And it's funny that you say that. I want to put this out there because, you know, a lot of white folks don't even know this, right? Because I had a conversation with someone about this.
Train conditioning passed along, Shadir Fowler. We got to get you in here.
Yeah, we gonna put her on the show. We gotta put her on the show. Listen, she's real intelligent.
Yeah.
She's real intelligent. About the Emmett Till thing, the situation some years ago, the woman who said that he winked his eye.
She lied.
She lied.
Yeah, she admitted she lied.
Yeah, she lied.
Yeah.
And that shit is just like when you see the pictures
Oh,
of that young, you know, Emmett Till was a kid.
That young brother.
That didn't even look like a face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for them to show that picture, see, I look at it from this perspective, right?
That's a reminder.
There's a reminder, and that's what makes me angry whenever I see shit like that.
You know what I mean?
That's why I can't. Like I'm one of them type where, you know, I can't. And my fiance, like, listen, she hate it. But I'm one of them types where I can't watch TV shows or a movie or whatever that shows racism. I cannot watch it. Like slavery movies, just anything. I cannot look at it because, just my personal opinion, it's a reminder. So when you step out of your house, when you step out of your classroom, when you step out of your job, just whatever, you're gonna see white people and you're gonna think about what you just saw, and you're gonna have this new hatred. You know what I'm saying? Just off of what you experienced, you know what I'm saying, in that moment. And it's like, I can't look at that shit, man. It's just like, you know, I feel like at the end of the day, we all could agree that this shit is being taught to us.
Of course it is.
And it's a reminder. And if people, once again, you could still do what you do. You could still believe what you want to believe. You could still be like, I can't stand black people, but what give you the right to want to kill me?
Right.
What give you the right to want to lock me up for something I didn't do? What, you know what I'm saying? I could just go on and on with it. And same thing for our people.
Right.
Just because you see a white person coming in the neighborhood and if they didn't do no wrong to you, that doesn't give you a right to do something to them. Right. Just because of what I'm standing for. I seen the situation. I could talk people head off about this. I seen a situation where this young black guy was on social media and he said that he dated a lot of white women. He didn't want to be in a relationship with them. He wanted to have relations with them and neglect them in the worst way. and he said he did this for our people because that's how they treated. You know what I'm saying? That's how the white man treated our black women. You know what I'm saying? Back then. And everybody was like glorifying the shit. And I'm just like, y'all once again, y'all repeating.
I don't agree with it because simple fact, what did it actually benefit our people?
At all.
You know what I mean? It didn't really benefit us a damn thing by you doing it. You know what I mean?
Matter of fact, you just gave white people more reason to hate us. You know what I'm saying? If we keep it 100.
You know what I mean?
You know, like
I got a question though for both of y'all, for everybody that's listening. This thing that was talking about was segregation of the blacks and the whites. How do y'all feel about it? Do y'all feel like yes, y'all agree with the segregation, or no? And what kind of problems do you see coming out of segregation today?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
I gotta hear this.
Yeah, I feel like we need. I feel like we slick need that. And I'm gonna only tell you why. Because we can't love or respect the other race because our own kind hate each other. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if we stay gated in one, area, it will kind of like now you won't have no reason to blame the white man for shit. You feel me? We looking at us now. You know what I'm saying? So now it makes us figure out what can we do to fix this situation. And then once we fix this shit out, first it starts with self, and then after self, it goes with coming together. And then when it goes to come together and we realize the bigger picture, you feel me? Then it goes on from there. What you think, y'all?
What do I think?
Yeah. What about his question?
About segregation. Do I think that there need? I don't like segregation. I like the idea of this distinction. So I think there needs to be a distinction. Yes.
Okay.
Do I think we need to understand that there's a distinct culture that we deserve to be able to protect and grow and mature? Yes. Mm-hmm. Because in this culture, anything that we've created that's worth anything gets taken from us and given to the cosmos, and it's everybody's now. And so I think, just like Scottish culture deserves its distinction, and Arabic cultures and deserve their distinction, and we understand that it belongs to those people. So when you participate in it, you have to have some sort of reverence and deference for the people who you're interacting with in that way. Mm-hmm. I think black culture deserves that. At the same clip. Do I think segregation? No, because segregation is not an act of distinction. It's an act of power dynamics. The person who has the ability to separate you has the power to limit you. Mm-hmm. This is not two powerful nations creating a boundary. That's called nation building. Mm-hmm. Segregation happens when you are able to subject a group of people to a set of conditions that you save another group of people from having to endure.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe that, since times have changed and, our people have accomplished so much, in this world, do you think that
Shadira says we haven't had anything that we've owned as a community since segregation ended? Yeah, but that's our fault. But go ahead.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to get into, because it's like, do you feel like since how I was gonna ask it? Basically, since times has changed and we have accomplished more than what we have in the past, do you think that would be enough to go on?
No.
Hell
no. Because you traded in, first of all, and I've said this before, and I'll say it like probably to the day I die. Mm-hmm. We traded in two things for two other things. Mm-hmm. And then in that we lost power. And one of those things is power. We traded in access. We traded in ownership for access. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we traded in power for privilege.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And both
Both were needed.
Both refer the power back to the source. It's almost like remember when like you used to be able to buy an app, right? Like I should be able to buy Photoshop as an application, and once I bought it, it belonged to me.
Right.
It was my version, and it was mine. It was just mine. You get a disc or whatever. You could download it a million times. It was yours to do what you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do that. It's a subscription service now.
Mm-hmm.
Ownership access.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that I make, if I don't maintain the access, it goes back to them. The power is gone. We're not buying houses anymore. We're renting. They're putting up 1,000 rental units.
Mm-hmm.
That's to get you out of the ownership market and into the renters market.
Mm-hmm.
That's not ownership. That's access.
Right.
You have access to amenities.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when we you know what I'm saying, when we did that, we gave up a lot because we wanted to be included. Segregation, the illusion of inclusion that ending segregation did was tricked us out of the power that we had
Right.
when we didn't have them. So you gotta think about the Negro Leagues and the ABA and all this other stuff were powerful black forces. We were the entertainment. Like it was more entertaining to watch African Americans and Africans and Cubans play than it was. But whiteness had whiteness, and we wanted it real bad.
Right.
Yeah.
We wanted it real bad. We wanted it better than being better than them. You see what I'm saying?
What you think?
I was thinking about it like this as well, right? Look how look at all the mulatto families.
Mm-hmm.
If we segregate the races, right? What happens to those children?
They have to pick a race, and I don't think that's
not
healthy.
fair.
Yeah, that's not healthy at all.
And if you divide all these families, right? Because it's a lot of mulatto children up. You know what I mean? You divide these families. Not only do you destroy yourself, you destroy the other side too.
Yeah.
It's a lose on both hands.
Yeah.
So where do you stick these people? Because they're black and they're white. So now what do you have? You got to pick the choice. How can you rightfully tell this person to pick what side they're going to be on? Because ultimately they lose one side.
Especially like if you know, on some, you know, old school Will Smith, if they was conceived in love, you know what I'm saying, and they love their mother and their father, you got to make them pick, you know what I'm saying, who they love
more.
You know what I'm saying, and how detrimental can that be, one way or the other,
Right.
for that, you know, that kid, you know what I'm saying, to have to deny a part of them, you know what I'm saying, if you got a white daddy, a white mama, a Puerto Rican daddy, I don't know, whatever, and you got to say, nah, I'm gonna be this, and you can't be the other thing, you know what I'm saying. I don't think you're half and half. I think you're whole and whole. You're everything that a Puerto Rican person is, and you're everything that a African American is, or a white person is, or an Irish person. You're both of those things all the way through. And you get everything that they got coming.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? That, again, that idea of half and octoroon and quadroon, that is white supremacy. That was the way they, again, separated us and made us believe that the lighter skin was this, and the one with the fairer hair was this, and this, that, and the third. All of it was a trick. All of it was
mentally blocking.
Put a difference between you that didn't exist in your experience. You know what I'm saying? We got light-skinned women living. I have a light-skinned brother. My father's light-skinned. You know what I'm saying?
Mine too.
Yeah, my father, you know what I'm saying? My great-grandmother is a white lady. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
What do? Do I not love her? Do I not love my mixed grandmother? I got a mixed kid. What do I tell you? Like half of you was like, you know, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I love this.
But the shit that I got in there that's me.
You
You know what I'm saying? Like your mama was crazy regardless. I realized that. You know what I'm saying? So what did it matter? You know what I'm saying? When you make decisions that you make your children have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Are you trying to give them a legacy, or are you trying to make them build yours?
Exactly.
You feel me?
And
By making them pick and build on. Come on, man. That's
and you know what's sad? A lot of people do that to this day.
yeah.
They push their agendas upon their children and their children. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And be real strict about it too.
Yeah.
To a point where it's like you kind of slick where brainwash them to believe like, you know what, I'm tired of getting my ass beat, so maybe you is right. So I'm gonna just go ahead and stick with this. You know what I'm saying?
You know, as a young one, I always questioned about Christianity. You know what I mean?
Me too.
And my mom used to beat my behind because I didn't want to go to church. Oh, you better be at church when I get there. You know what I mean? Different stuff like that. You know what I mean? She pushed that on me so hard and so long, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, dang, why not?
Shadira Fowler said, but that's what culture is, though.
True.
Yeesh, that's tough. Oh, no.
So as I got older, I went and lived in Philly for a year with my great uncle and my auntie. And I became open to Muslims. You know what I mean? And I was never really around Muslims like that down here. You know what I mean? Or in Louisiana or whatever. So I didn't get to see the Islam. I didn't get to see these brothers with unity and all this different stuff. And when I got up there and started seeing this on a day-to-day basis, one of my best friends was Muslim. You know what I mean? And I'm learning from him. And I'm seeing how his family unit moves as a whole. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, I like this. So when I come back down here, I got questions now.
Yeah.
Why is this like this in this religion, but not in this religion?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, you don't need to question that. You going to church? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't agree with their doctrine anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm an atheist. I'm all this
yeah. You're a devil worshiper.
I'm something other. But at the end of the day, what I am, I believe in God. Period. You know what I mean?
You know, I wish, you know, because like just like you know, my parents, whew, Lord mercy, man. Listen, it wasn't even a discussion. Nigga, you going to church. You know what I'm saying? You going to church. You know what I'm saying? And but what I did was, I was one of those kids that kind of like paid attention, not too much. I paid attention to what they was preaching, but I really paid attention to how they operated. Yeah. Not just in the church, but outside the church.
Right.
And when I started to notice how you kind of acting like a hypocrite, so how can you judge someone else for this? You know what I'm saying? When I started to notice those type of things, it made me start questioning a bunch of other stuff.
Right.
And I started, one of the things that bothered me was they said that when you found your church, you stay in that church. It's not good to go from church to church. And I was like, well, if we all believed in God, then why I can't do that? Right. So then when I started to go from church to church, I started to see different things. I started to see different flaws. I started to see different truths. And when I stopped going to church and I started to hang with other people who had different beliefs than Jesus Christ, I started to hang around them. Not so that I could believe what they believe in, but I wanted to know why they believe what they believe. I wanted the insight. Yeah. And when I started to do that, man, I started to learn a lot about just different things. So it kind of brought me into this mind state where I had to kind of like tell my folks, like, you know, I respect everybody's beliefs. Now, personally for me, you know, I am a believer in Jesus Christ. That's my Lord and Savior. However, I don't believe how the world, the way they made us believe to operate, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe in that. I don't think, you know.
Shadira Fowler, I don't want to get in. Hey, most of these so-called Christians don't even follow the Bible doctrine.
They don't.
Most Muslims at least attempt to live in the manners of the Quran.
Yeah.
To your last thing you said, they don't even preach the gospel properly and haven't been for years on top of years.
No, that's true. That's true. And that's what made me really peep a lot of stuff. But, you know, but if you want to keep it 100, it's not just Christianity. It's really all religion. And that's what made me to realize more. Just like, you know, I'm just the type of person where, you know, I don't go off of how Like the basics, that's different. But everything else with the doctrine of certain things, I just don't go with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm more just like, man, because I feel like if there's no level of, because if you look at from all religion besides Satan,
Satanism.
of course, yeah. Besides that, if you look at the deeper meaning of it, bro, it's all supposed to be loved. And if you also peep each religion, they have certain similarity things. They just different from each other. And when I started to notice all of that, it just made me really felt like this is another way to keep us separated. Just my personal opinion.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? But
what was that comment? The last comment?
She said they don't even preach the gospel properly and haven't been on top for years on top of years. He made another comment. Not every doctrine is this, I guess, the same. Not everyone actually follows the biblical teaching. If that was the case, they'd be like Christ, who was a Jew.
Okay. When they talk about the doctrine, right? Not practicing the doctrine or not preaching the doctrine. Mm-hmm. I've seen them preach it, but not live it.
Yeah.
And the issue is not, and I cut you off, brother. I have to say this before you go on. Living it, to me, ain't even the issue. It's you not being real about what it is. Like, you got certain people who would make it seem like they live what they preach and like they never made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? They don't know the difference. They treat people be treating mistake like a sin. Or you just, like they treat it
like,
yeah, and that shit be like, bro, like, come on, ain't nobody perfect. We, you know what I'm saying? Even though we believe to not do these certain things, at times we still attempt to do little certain shit, But go ahead.
But my thing is like, okay, so say I'm a pastor. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm preaching the word. I got the whole church flipping upside down on top of their head, dancing and talking in tongues and all this good stuff, right? But at night when I get home, I'm beating my wife up.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm sneaking around this sister Susie house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Middle of the night. Mm-hmm. I'm preaching what's supposed to be preached. Mm-hmm. But I'm not living what's supposed to be preached. Well, I'm not living by what I'm preaching. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm not showing in y'all eyes, I look like the best pastor in the world.
Because of the image? Because
of the image. Mm-hmm. I'm projecting the image that I want everybody to see, but I'm not really living what I'm supposed to be living. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Deep down inside, when I get home, or back then in the pastor study, I done had me a good old shot of whiskey while I'm back there.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Hey, look here. That's going to be next topic right there. That's going to be the next topic Monday, y'all. I'm going to tell you, because I don't even want to dig too deep in this right now. Because this right here got my blood boil, like, for real, like, because I experienced so much off of this, because my dad was a real church goer. So we always attend to church. But even with me, it hit deeper because my dad was a musician. So with my mom and my sister, yes, they went to church. But when it come down to my dad playing in different events or playing with his group, they traveled all in them dirt country roads. Yeah. And he always would have me. It'd just be a me and him thing. So I always witnessed a lot of stuff, right. You know what I'm saying, from what's going on in the church and from what's going on outside the church. And you know what I'm saying, like, this shit crazy, man. But look, y'all, it's definitely hitting that time. It's 9:58, you know what I'm saying? We end this at 10 o'clock. As usual, I'm always big about giving my brothers their flowers. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give a special shout out to my boy Malik the Barber. You know what I'm saying? Once again, y'all better go ahead and get y'all that line up, that fade. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for the ladies, if y'all want your eyebrows done,
I got you.
That's the guy. That's the guy. Once again, shout out to my boy, you know what I'm saying, Jive. You know what I'm saying? Linked up with Clicked Up. That's how we do it, man. Yeah. Thank you for allowing us to be on your platform and, you know what I'm saying, spreading our truth, man.
And give your shout out to Rise Up, Ray in the building, StressLyfe, man. Come on, man.
For sure.
You get some flowers too, man.
Yeah, love.
I want to do one shout out while I'm here.
Yeah, good.
I want to shout out to my nephew MJ. Happy birthday, boy. Love you.
Shout out my niece. Her birthday is today too. Shout out to my baby. But yeah, though, man. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, this is not about what's right or what's wrong. We really giving our opinions about things. And, you know, we need to come together and talk about this shit and figure this shit out so we can be better people and be better and be better towards each other. You know what I'm saying? The way we treat each other. Y'all stay tuned for the next episode. Like I said, Rise Up Ray, the album is released. Please look at it. I got my my mic performance. Life is a bitch. Check that shit out, man. Hey,
love y'all.
Hey, you feel me? Until then, we see you next week. Stress it.